It's more so in this situation where it's like more even, right? What can you do to make it the least fair for your opponent? That's the goal, right? You're playing a fighting game, not a cooperative game. Zoners should still play defensively a lot of the time, right? And the reason for that, again, it's not because you can't fight up close. It's because Vira can't fight far away. I mean, she's got Luminera, I guess. And if you're just going L Dragon, L Dragon, L Dragon, Laser, L Dragon, Ford F-150, L Dragon, Luminera is not gonna be keeping up with that. So the idea here is to make this, again, as unfair for your opponent as possible. The goal with fighting games, always, is to make it so your opponents can play the game the least possible amount. And then the devs try and balance the game around making it so they always can do something, right? But your goal, you're not the devs. Fuck balance. Your goal as a player is to make your opponent's life as unfair and miserable as possible. All right, folks, we are back with more Gray and Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, more replay review. Again, Mondays, Tuesdays. Don't mind the nickname, I'm goated, so true. I try to get through this backlog. We're working on it. We're September 11th, certainly a date, but we're moving. We're moving. If we can do two, like the next one here is also the 11th, but the one after that is the 18th. Yo, it's like a week time skip. The next video I record today, we're gonna make some serious progress here, so that should be good. That should be good. But yeah, these two that we have here are actually quite short. I'll see how I'm feeling. This one's real long. Maybe if we can like fit in, like if Rain's here is short. Oh, maybe we can do three. Maybe we can do Rain and this, because together they're like 6 minutes, right? So it's not gonna this is a hostile master rank avatar right here. We're gonna really see if there's too much that we can actually provide for him here, but we'll see. I thought this being a bad matchup. I've just always been terrible at fighting Metera. All right, okay. VOD review day, I'm locked in. Yep, Mondays and Tuesdays, baby. At least until this backlog gets smaller. Once the backlog is smaller, maybe it's only Mondays. But for now, Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay, so same thing at the start of every single one of these replay review videos. I've done it for all of them, right? When you get hit, when you lose your turn. These are great times to pause and take stock and try and figure out what went wrong, right? Yeah, it is. It's hostile. Call me the bank, indeed. So we'll see how that happens. As well, in terms of, I mean, again, Abel's always weird with like aggressor defender stuff, just because he can kind of do everything. But on the bright side, Metera being on the other side of this makes it a lot easier, right? Call me banned, correct? Xavier, it's like Xavier with a TH in it. Thanks for the follow, man. Hope you're enjoying the stream. So again, with aggressor defender, it's kind of weird here, but on the bright side, even though Abel probably could be fine from a lot of ranges on the screen, being in Metera's face is usually advantageous for you no matter who you are, as long as she's not got butterflies on you and shit like that. So probably an aggressive bent for Avatar, but I'll kind of be curious to see what he tries to go for here. That's a round start far M, right? Just round start straight up, trying to hold the space right there. He walks forward a bit, doesn't quite manage the whiff punish. Flight from that up close, like in not just against Metera too, just flight from this distance, like you're just like in range of burst options, right? Like they didn't react to you flying and do 6XL there. You're in that strike distance. So been following the YouTube upload since December. Keep up the good work from a fellow Canadian. God, dope. December is when the channel started, man. Holy shit. What's going on? Hello. Thanks for the continued support then, man. Holy shit. Thank you. But yes, so from this close of range, probably just not a good idea to fly here against pretty much anyone, just in case. Like, you're even in like far M distance or something. Been a long time lurker? Well, welcome to the lights, good sir. Welcome to the lights. Whoa, I mean, that's a misinput, right? Like, there's no way. Like, I don't think I'm gonna like talk that. There's no way he meant to do that. I'm just gonna. I don't think there was a decision made there. I think. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, sort of like 2H being able to cover, flight like this is certainly not something, because her even though her 2H is air blockable and not amazing, right? What's going on, Pran? You don't run into this matchup in general? Yeah. Even though her 2H is pretty air blockable and not like super good, and it is also a projectile, which means it goes forever basically. It just keeps flying off. So actually hit him out of his flight right here. That's an interesting interaction. I guess be careful of that, because you had enough time to see that 2H was in the air, right? Okay. You can see that 2H was in the air and then you flew into it. Maybe you didn't realize it would work that way, but, in the future. Something to keep in mind, certainly. Okay. I like your attempts to close distance. Yeah, good spot dodging and rolling is what you want to do on Metera projectiles. Certainly, that's an unfortunate trade. That is an unfortunate trade. The RPS is to find space, 6XL, force Metera to commit to punishable options, running is a death sentence. You can cancel your runs into spot dodge and roll if you're quick enough, which you should be doing anyway. You don't really want to be blocking the arrows, best case. But it's definitely more risky to do that, certainly. Yeah. So what exactly, like this whole exchange in the corner, I want to take a closer look at this. This seemed pretty rough, right? You get checked by a far out. Oh, wait, that happened again? I think I missed that, yeah. Flight just doesn't seem like a super tremendous option in this matchup, huh? There's a lot. There's like a lot of times you could have. You're making a lot of decisions here, even though you're just sitting still, right? Not having the meter here is rough for sure, right? Yeah, 236, 236. God damn, like I know I keep like looking back, but I'm just like you are. Like this is a surprisingly complicated situation that just happens here, right? Because there's. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were some potential outs in the zoning there. Like, for example, when this low arrow goes underneath the butterfly and doesn't trigger it, right? They put out butterfly, right? No, it was earlier. Yeah, that one, right? That low arrow doesn't trigger butterfly. If you see her crouch like that, like rolling through that puts you in a pretty decent spot, actually, right? Yeah. Butterfly's 2H is like at this point it's been done twice, right? It's definitely done on purpose, right? Yeah, I'm not quite so sure about trying to throw out the fireballs here, but... yeah, okay. There are a couple of missed opportunities to roll through the zoning there. I mean, Monarch obviously is setting up a fucking, like... The reason I have to rewind that so many times, because Monarch really is setting up, like, a goddamn web for you there. But I think there were definitely some opportunities to roll through, or otherwise, like, you know, gaps in the pressure that you could deal with. Dude, yeah, Flight is just not good in this matchup at all, huh? Yeah, okay, so... It's a short... It's only one game, right? It's a short review. But, like, I mean, yeah, definitely, thing number one, just like you just can't fly in this matchup, it seems like, right? Because like outside of you doing like an immediate option, yeah, exactly. Like I think like honestly most of a lot of the damage you took or a lot of the bad situations you got into in this matchup was off of getting 2H'd out of Flight, right? Right here, for example, you do find your way out there. But then like this like web of death you end up in the second round is also because you fly and you get 2H'd, right? Like right here, fly 2H. He's doing it on reaction too, right? Like there's nothing like this is not like that one's not even a hard call out. Like the first one, he did butterfly into 2H, sure. This one, like he's running here. He 2H's your ass out of the sky, right? And this is what puts you in that situation now where you're in hell, right? And Monarch is setting up, yeah, like this very good zoning web if you have to make your way through. Which again, there was, namely the big one that I'm seeing right here is like it's kind of specific. But if you see her crouching down like this and there's a butterfly coming out, these like crouching arrows don't actually trigger the butterfly. I think it does get, yeah, it gets a little bit lower as it moves forward, but right away like that, it wouldn't work. There was an opportunity to roll through that, but that's hard to see, I think. Right? Like, you wouldn't even have been in this situation in the first place if you didn't fly. Right? It's what got you into that horrible spot. Like, realistically, you lose this entire round, basically, off that one flight. It seems like it's not super... You don't have, like, amazing anti-projectile options once you can't really... Like, I think you can actually establish yourself pretty decently at the full screen, right? But once you've lost the tempo in full screen... It's very hard for you to get it back if you don't have meter, which is what you didn't have any right here, right? You can't like do any U fireballs or like U Rekka or something like that. It's like if you lose the tempo to Metera in the fireball war, you're just stuck here. And this mostly happened because of the flight, right? Same thing in the first round. You got put in the corner because you flew. Honestly, like we didn't even really get to see you play very much of the video game besides that. I don't think, right? Like the one time. Yeah, he texts the throw right here, you're back to neutral, right? I don't think you get very far from this. Yeah, again, flight, like, right? Like, you had two, besides, like, the flights, and then you just were in rough scenarios to get out of, you had exactly one turn on offense this entire set. It was right here, and you DP'd accidentally, right? Like, this is a minute and 30 replay. It's not super easy to get a lot out of here, but definitely your ass is not, like, this is not correct, and you know that. Like, definitely flying is not the move in this matchup almost ever, it feels like. Maybe in the corner as, like, some sort of like, reset option or something in the middle of a combo, but not just in neutral like this. Especially, like, Monarch is straight up reacting to your flights in 2H is what's going on right here. Not, like, yeah, I mean... Yes, yeah, I mean, Leia's saying the same thing, right? Until you have 50 meter, yeah, your only tools to, like, bulldoze your way through here are your U skills, right? Not flight. It's a short replay, so I can't actually talk about too much, which I was rather been talking for 9 minutes. But yeah, no, like the big thing is just you just can't fly in this matchup, I think. All right, on to the next one, Mr. Ghost, the caffeinated one. A YouTube replay is always nice. No info on this, I don't think. Yeah, no info. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going. And what could I have done differently? What do I need to improve on? It's pretty general, but we'll see. Fight can be very good to try if Metera's not that great with her AAs, but Monarch is. True, but at that point, it feels almost more like... It feels almost more like a knowledge check at that point, right? It's like, do you know, like, do you realize that your 2H is full screen, right? Like, you have a full screen 45-degree angle 2H, and you can use that against Flight. If you realize that, I feel like that's not even that hard. Like, it's not like, you know, Monarch is setting it up preemptively to beat it, because he's clearly very experienced in the matchup. Like, even if they didn't know it, you can, like, 2H that shit on reaction, it feels like, right? Metera has the best Flight 2H in the game, and it works at all ranges. Yeah, again, like, her 2H is actually, funny enough, her 2H is actually pretty bad a lot of the time because it's air blockable, right? But against Abel, the fact that it's a projectile and it goes infinite distance is really fucking nice. It just so happens. Yeah, so yeah, Ghost is the Katalina here. It's actually full screen. Yeah, it goes forever, right? It doesn't matter against 99% of characters, but against Abel, it kills Flight really hard, right? Okay, so yeah, this is total, like, you know, C3 Katalina. I'm curious what they'll try to get. Oh, there you go. Okay. I mean, I like the run up low already is a decent idea, right? The idea, like, again, trying to catch your opponent not blocking lows. That's a decent start, certainly. This is also, I will say, I think this is a bit of a... I don't know if it's a rough matchup for Katalina, but the fact that, again, Katalina is supposed to play this, like, defensive playstyle, and, like, use her big buttons to beat everyone else in the neutral, and then, you know, especially post-patch, that 1 far M or 2M is, like, full screen corner carrying to damage. It's actually going to be kind of hard for you to do this in this matchup against 2B, right? Just because 2B is one of the only characters in the entire game that has, like, bigger normals than you do. Maybe not better, but definitely bigger, and they're still relatively quick, right? Again, that's probably not exactly, like, the level we should be talking about here, but it's just something to note. That Katalina probably does have to, that you kind of have to, I think you kind of have to use those buttons maybe a little bit more on defense. Maybe. Like, play this a little bit more passively. A lot of characters have to do this against 2B. I think Katalina can maybe try not to. But unless you're feeling real confident in your footsies, probably a good idea is to... And you can defend yourself with your big buttons in the corner pretty well. 2B does not have a super strong pressure game, right? So, like, if you run at her too much, you might just die here. Let's see. Okay, I like the 6XL out of the corner. You have a good 6XL as well, right? Another good way to force your way out of the corner if 2B just tries to space you out. Oh, yeah. That is not... Doing that on Wake Up is definitely not ideal there, certainly. Like, Wake Up throw's fine there. You got baited, but it's okay. Will it counter it from full screen? If you're in startup of a move, absolutely, yeah. It did that to Hostile a couple different times, Zeal Sonar. Okay, I mean, I'm noticing a bit of a pattern here already. It's somewhat understandable. That's not, again, you've missed a couple throws. One time it was a, you know, understandable throw tech. One time it was a slight misspacing. That's not a big deal. Okay. I like that you tick through them, by the way. Very well done. Okay. Yeah, so this is definitely something that is we're gonna talk about here, I think. Is this in general? Oh yeah. I think your general understanding of what to do on offense is actually not bad at all, right? You ran up 2L'd, you did plus frames with the tick throw, right? You got like good ideas on offense. But as is sort of to be expected, I think. Oh, yo, you brave? Okay. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, so there really is there's two things, right? There's, again, look, I'm making speedrun pace, man. But it's just these replays are both short and actually not super complicated so far, right? There's really only two things, especially for you being. I will say you're C3. I think you're probably you could definitely be a little bit higher than that. But still, in this beginner sort of context here, there's only two things I want to talk to you about. And one, it's pretty common. This is not a you problem at all. It's a very common thing. But like, again, blocking is good in this game. I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean it genuinely, right? Defense is actually quite strong in this game. You wake up throw, wake up 2U, wake up 2-3-6U, I think. You enchanted lands, right? Or I guess 2-1-4U. You enchanted lands, right? The shot. Was that pre-buff cat? If so, that was an L no matter what. No, this is we're post-patch at this point by a little bit. But yeah, so you did like you enchanted lands on wake up, you did throw on wake up, you did close slash on wake up, you did DP on wake up. I don't think you blocked on wake up a single time in this, and I understand that desire. Why would I block when I could go kill the guy instead? But you have to realize that, you know, if 2B gets a knockdown on you in the corner here, right, she's got the advantage, and you kind of have to respect that by default. And also, you have to realize that, you know, as well, blocking is actually pretty hard for, especially, you know, this A rank 2B might not have a pretty good way to deal with you just down backing, right? Like you like, for example, you on offense, you were doing like run-up lows, you were doing tick throws. That's good stuff, right? I have to tell people a lot in these replay reviews in A rank and S rank and NS plus sometimes to like mix up their offensive options a bit more. If you just down back and, you know, do your best to tech throws every now and then, which you did, which is totally fine, you're going to find your defense a little bit hard to open up for a lot of people, right? Offense is not super overwhelming in this game. I don't know if maybe if anyone comes from like, you know, a more explosive offensive game like Strive or like some other, you know, like some like real Kusoge or something, or oh god, or like a tag fighter if you play like Marvel or GBFC or something. Offense is not that crazy in this game, so blocking is not really that something to be scared of. Besides that, the only other like really big thing that I'm seeing is I don't think you are fully aware. Ghost is in A now that let's play him on Voss. Okay. I don't think you're fully aware at this point anyway. And again, if Ghost at this point is way better, that's fine. But for anyone who's also in sort of this beginner territory, there are safe things to do on offense and not safe things to do on offense, right? There's a couple of times here, like for example, I mean, this was kind of done defensively, but the point still stands. Was it where was it where you did the wake up you enchanted lands? I think it was on this next knockdown here, maybe. Oh no, wait, there you go. This you see punish right there. That means that, again, the recovery of your move is long enough that 2B can hit you before you can even do anything. You can't even DP out of this. You're straight up unsafe on block. So you did this, and then also at the end you do wait for it, this, which again, oh, you'll see it right there, punish, right? You have good ideas on offense, but I think you just have to be very careful about what you can and can't actually safely do on offense. As an example of something you could do, right? You're doing a lot of dash L, a lot of 6XL, right? That's a great idea. 6XL, most of your normals should be, you know, most normals are safe in this game. That is like buttons, not special moves, right? Most normals are safe. Maybe not all heavies, right? Like, you know, most mediums or lights, even if they're minus on block, aka if your opponent gets to move before you do, right? Then you'll still be safe. You can still block in time. They can't just like hit you for free. If you had a button, you might get counter hit like this, but you're not going to be a guaranteed punish if you do that. So I would say generally look up. What's going on, Hecko? A general like just guidance, I suppose, for anyone who doesn't really, because like when I say safe, unsafe, fighting game players who have played for a bit take a lot of stuff for granted. What does that mean? It varies from game to game, right? But in general, most people's fastest button, it kind of varies by how far away you are from people, right? So most people's fastest button is 5 frames. But that means if you see this on block right here, +4, this means that Katalina can recover and act 4 frames before her opponent, right? What's going on, York? So this is plus, this is minus, but safe. -1. There's no 1 frame moves in this game, so you're not gonna get hit for real if that happens. And then this right here is a great example. Your close H is -8 on block. Again, it's a little bit more nuanced than this, but just for a very basic understanding, this is 5, this is 8. Right, so you're gonna be sitting there for 8 frames, unable to do anything, right? And then they can close L you and kill you, and that this is what we would call unsafe. So that is the only that's the big problem on your offense right now, is you're doing a lot of shit that's unsafe. And the general cutoff is, again, it gets more detailed than this, but in general, if this is -6 or -5, -6 ish, think twice about using it, right? If this number here, this is Dust Loop, by the way, it has information on every single character and all their moves and all their properties and the damage they do and the frame data. It's an amazing resource for, I mean, especially beginners, right? More like beginner, slightly intermediate beginners who are trying to learn a little bit more of the details behind the system, right? If you want to know about frame data, you can always do this. The training mode has it too, right? But if you don't even know what to look for, right, then this will have everything that you want right there, right? But yeah, that and blocking a wake up, I think, is a big deal. Right? Again, obviously we're in a different context here, talking about C3, but unironically, I think your offensive ideas are not bad. You tick through them once. You did some stagger pressure, I think maybe on purpose or on accident, I'm not sure. And you also did a run up low. You got good ideas on offense. You just have to work on actually like blocking on wake up and not doing so much unsafe shit. Aki, by the way, Aki's replay here is like 43 minutes, so we're gonna do it in the next video. I want to try and see if we can get 3 in a single video right here, and just move on from there. This is Rain. New to Zooey, currently facing a character crisis, but she seems fun, so I'm rolling with it. Any tips will be appreciated. Sure thing. Zooey versus Vira. Rain also, yeah, a little bit more on the intermediate side of things. Oh, it's Minagi. It's Rain versus Minagi. So true. This time I can stay longer. I don't start at 7 a.m., but 7:30 a.m. I mean, listen, man. If you value your sleep as well, right? I'm glad to have you here whenever you can, but all right. Vira in general can struggle a little bit, especially outside of install, to get in on people who are trying to keep her away. She's got okay, like, she's got good buttons. She's pretty fast when she's running and stuff like that. But she doesn't have like an amazing like neutral skip or anti-zoning tool. Yeah, so Jesse's got the right idea here, right? So I would expect more of like round starts 668 here is not really what I would do with Zooey, I don't think, right? It's a funny move and it gives you a lot of reward when it hits most of the time, right? But I would, like, in this matchup, I think Zooey would be benefited a lot by playing defensively. Zooey can do that to a lot of people, actually. It's because, like, Dragon and Dragon Zoning and, like, Laser versus L Dragon versus stuff like that is actually pretty hard to get around for a lot of characters. It even beats Belial 5U, as an example. Not that that's, like, the god-tier anti-zoning move, but as an example, right? Laser does beat Belial 5U because it's so active for so long, right? So a little bit more of a defensive bent than this is probably what I'd be expecting, but sure. I mean, if you run him down, let's see how you run him down. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Light Dragon, is that Light Dragon... From that close, I'm pretty sure that's his minus right there. Yeah, see ya, man. Mr. Longtime Lurker, thanks for coming by. I appreciate the follow. Okay. Ooh, good match with the command grab. Nice. Yeah, with those kind of Luminera setups, I mean, you seem to already understand. Well, this is not really, it's not really the same thing. But in general, when Viras will try to hit you like a meaty or a Luminera or something and then run at you in command grab, just mash, like, anyway, basically. Because if Luminera is going to hit you in time, they're going to block, you'll be safe from the command grab and you can't mash. And if it's not, you can mash and Luminera goes away at that point, so. Okay, decent anti-air. When in doubt, anti-airing with DPs is certainly more consistent, right? Than doing it with 2H, since they're frame 1 invuln instead of like frame 11 active or whatever. I like the Brave counter. Brave countered right back, though. Using that overhead a lot. Maybe it's like a round closer, sure. Okay, sure. Like here, for example, that'd be a great time for the overhead, maybe, if you hadn't already done it so many times. Oh yeah, not quite. I like the idea you had there, right? But after you don't have a ton of time to punish her from if you're at that kind of distance, I think. After the super flash, anyway. We can meaty with L Dragon too. Oh, good. You know she's -1 there. Okay. Nice. I like it. Okay, decent combo. Tries to reset too. They DP'd you on wake up though. Not bad. Yeah, I think so far I feel like you're not doing anything too horrible. I think you're just maybe going about the matchup in a way that is a little bit more advantageous for Minagi than it is for you, right? Let's keep going though. Okay, sure. Decent spot to DP. They close them to close H often 100% throw so far is my main takeaway. That's true as well. They haven't done a lot of frame traps, but not a lot of things to encourage matching, right? What happened here, by the way? I looked away for... Oh, you hit him with a low. Nice. And you convert into Raging Strike. Well done.
Comma, nerd.
Yo, Sonic Utopia. Thanks for the follow, man. Much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you. I mean, listen, I still don't think you should do round star 66H, but it does work sometimes. Certainly. Okay, there you go. There's some throwing. Hold on. There's some throw. They're changing it up. They're changing up the offense. Hold on a second. Again, they're minus there. Oh, good stuff. Well done. Okay. Decent. Careful of possible installing. Never mind. Got that. Is that it? I mean, you won this set. Not gonna lie, I like the advice I'm hearing, even though I don't play Zooey. All right, man. I'm glad I can be of use to you. The goal is definitely to be, you know, with the replay reviews especially, definitely more educational than anything else. But this needs to commit to zoning and forcing the Vira to approach more, so you put them in the mistake territory instead of you taking major risks. Yeah, exactly. So you, honestly, outside of like, yeah, maybe on your offense, it could be a little bit more unpredictable, right? I think the big thing here really is just somewhat of a, and you won, but it doesn't really change the fact, I don't think. Maybe like somewhat of a misunderstanding of what you want to be doing in the matchup. This is a good example. I can maybe go into this in a little bit. I talk about this aggressor-defender thing at the start of every single replay I look at, right? But we haven't gone into it in like some detail in a little bit. So maybe this is a good time to talk. Because this is a pretty good example of like, yeah, it's a pretty good example of one of the times where it kind of matters, I think, right? Also, hold on. Give me some, I don't know why YouTube loop sometimes just shits its pants, but it's fine. Definitely trying to learn matchups right now, so things like this are helpful for me to learn, to listen to, and talk about. Awesome, man. Awesome. I'm glad to hear. But yeah, so with Zooey, right? You might be thinking, hey, Zoey's got up close pressure, right? Zoey's got, you know, Zooey can she can hit people. It's not like she's not like a pure zoner, right? He's got pressure. He's got some like mix with the lightning. He's got, you know, some good plus frame resets like the M Dragon and stuff like that. Why would I play defensively here, right? My character has strong ways to contest in the mid range and up close, right? It's not so much that playing defensively is an admission that your character cannot play offensively. In Granblue especially, it's more, it's less true in like slightly more reserved fighting games, right? But in Granblue, even the zoners have some of the nastiest mix in the whole fucking game, right? Like the zoners have, they got mix, they got offense, they got plus frames, they got everything. But it's more about what state of the game advantages you the most, right? And yes, also, yeah, Jesse's right. Like, it's not, you're not gonna be zoning the whole match. You'll get a hit and then convert it to a really big advantage state, right? But it's more so in this situation where it's like more even, right? What can you do to make it the least fair for your opponent? That's the goal, right? You're playing a fighting game, not a cooperative game. Your idea here is to make it, where can I be on the screen? Where or how can I play in general? It's not just screen positioning, but screen positioning is definitely a. They gave my zoner a TK dive kick. Yeah, like zoners, everyone's got offense in this game. It doesn't change the fact DC when they're about to win. Now you're fucking talking, Excellion. Yes, yeah, it doesn't change the fact that zoners should still play defensively a lot of the time, right? And the reason for that, again, it's not because you can't fight up close. It's because Vira can't fight far away, right? Vira, you can fight up close, so can she. You can fight in that mid range, so can she. But when you're like at the whole screen distance away from her, I mean, she's got Luminera, I guess. But Luminera is not exactly the god of Fireball Wars, right? And if you're just going L Dragon, L Dragon, L Dragon, Laser, L Dragon, Ford F-150, L Dragon, right? Yeah, exactly, right? So like, Luminera is not gonna be keeping up with that. So the idea here is to make this, again, as unfair for your opponent as possible. Luni's not even full screen anymore? True, yeah, also. I forget, they did change that, right? But yeah, so make it, don't take it to a place where you can both play the game. The goal with fighting games, always, is to make it so your opponents can play the game the least possible amount. And then the devs try and balance the game around making it so they always can do something, right? But your goal, you're not the devs. Fuck balance. Your goal as a player is to make your opponent's life as unfair and miserable as possible. Point blank, period. You want to put them in a spot where they can't play the game and you can, you know, laugh your way to the bank. So in this case, with Zooey, that space is not, it's not this. It's not here, right? It's full screen, separated. Shine a purging light, right? Dragon going like just flying at him every time. That's where like the Vira's gonna, you know. I mean, Minagi may or may not want to kill you afterwards, but it's fine. It's only game. It's only game. Why you have to be meant? This is why you play Belial, switch characters, and ride the Belial to victory. True, but again, so this is not the space you want to be in. It's a bit of it's a very like fundamental concept. So I'm gonna repeat myself one more time. So apologies if this is all elementary to you, right? But again, it's not that you can't fight here. He's always got good buttons, man. Look right there. Look at that. That's a nice little 2M you got there. It's not that you can't fight here. It's that Vira also can. You want to put yourself in a position where you can interact and they can't. Now, those positions don't always exist, right? A lot of characters in this game at least have some sort of, they have a fireball or some sort of crazy neutral skip or something like that, right? One of Vira's big weaknesses as a character is she really doesn't. She has Stun Dipper RC, like, yeah, if that's a, I'm sorry, it's maybe for like an intermediate to beginner, calling that Stun Dipper RC is probably very confusing, right? Her little U Scarlet Oath, right? 214U, the thing where like she goes full screen, sweeps her legs, and then comes in with the overhead, right? One, that's punishable on block now. So if that's risky for her to do. And two, that is not exactly, you know, that it costs 50 meter, and unless she's an install, she doesn't even get any ward off it. She's gonna combo or anything, right? So don't be afraid to just stand at full screen and kill Vira here. Because this is actually one of the matchups where there really is a spot on the screen where Vira can't do too much. Now, she's going to be doing her best, if she knows what's good for her, to like constantly rush you down and close in on you. But again, if your opponent is being forced to overextend like that, the nice part about this is now they're the one taking risks, right? Standing there and throwing Dragon from full screen is not a risk. Dashing at your opponent from full screen is a risk, especially because you can't dash block in this game. You can't dash and block. You have to cancel your dash into spot dodge or roll, both of which have their own risks associated with them, right? So forcing your opponent to take on as much of the risk as possible while you take on as little of the risk as possible is the name of the game. In fact, to kind of relate to this concept, this fundamental concept, I always like when one fundamental applies in multiple places. I think it makes it make a lot more sense for me. This is why being in the corner is so bad. if you think about it. Not universally, but generally, the person who has you in the corner is going to do more damage when they hit you, because they're getting corner combos, than you are when you hit them, because you are getting the most mid-screen of mid-screen. You're never going to make it. Some characters, like, if they're close enough, if they're like halfway across the screen, they can convert their mid-screen combo to a corner combo. But if you're on the literal opposite side of the screen, that's going to be very hard for you to actually get a meaningful chunk of damage out of your hits, right? So the risk reward is, like, you're taking on a lot of risk doing anything as the guy in the corner, and you're taking on very little risk doing anything as the guy who's not in the corner, who has the opponent with their back to the corner. As well as, also Hollow, thanks for the follow, man. As well as, you being the person in the corner, you can't adjust your spacing. The only place you can go is towards your opponent. They can go towards you and away from you. So they have better positioning options to make it more likely they can hit you, and when they hit you, they get more rewards. Like, if that is the fundamental, like, 1 + 1 = 2 reason that being in the corner is bad, right? So if you can basically, but to get someone in, it is you, yeah, it is, in fact, it is you, Rain. If you can get someone in the corner, or manufacture that experience of them having to take all the risk and you taking none of the risk, because normally you got someone in the corner, you got to hit them, which means you have to win neutral, which is a complicated thing, right? But if you can create that situation without having to win neutral by just backdashing a couple of times and throwing dragon over and over, right? Then you've almost, it's like you've put them in a similar situation to being in the corner without having to actually make a good decision as far as, like, you know, out-footseeing them or counter-hitting a move or something, or whiff-punishing or something like that, which are all, you know, relatively difficult things to do. As well, again, with them being forced now to take those risks, it's much more likely you get to hit them because they're going to be running at you, jumping at you, you can anti-air them maybe, and then once you hit them, a lot of characters in this game, especially post-Versuja patch, have pretty good corner carry. So once you hit them, then, right, you can put them in the corner or close to it, and at that point, if you want to play right up close in their face, go for it, because again, that's also not a fair situation. Them being in the corner is unfair to them by design. That's what's the whole, it's one of the like, staples of fighting games for years and years and years now, right? So, yeah, that's about the concept, I think. The goal is to make it as unfair for your opponent as possible. Always think about your tools and your opponent's tools, and try and figure out how to make that most unfair situation come to pass. And that is usually, you're going to be your layer 1 of how to play a match, right? Also, Lokira. Same thing with Abel versus Monarch's Metera. Monarch is just setting up all the defensive options and forcing Abel to take on the risk of getting through it. Yeah, exactly. Right, because that is the inherent advantage that pure zoners tend to have, right? And again, yeah, Abel can actually zone pretty damn well, but Metera is kind of designed to win Fireball Wars, right? Like, her U Fireball is like hard-coded to win them, so Abel can't really do it too well against her, right? Yeah, it's a universal concept. Now again, just because Rain just got here, to summarize the idea behind why I'm saying all of this, right, is that even though you win this set against Minagi, or this game against Minagi, right, you're in a much better spot if instead of round start doing this, you round start backdash. Because then, you're putting space between you, and they gotta chase you. Of course, there is a world where you corner yourself doing this, but yeah, that's why you don't just run away, you run away and hold space. Run away Dragon, run away Far M, stuff like that, right? You want to play at a spot where Vira can't play the video game, and that is not this spot right here. Hey, Break finally got to S+, thanks to the new rank system. Yo, congrats, man. It's not just a new rank system as well, you know? Yeah, I'm sure you've been getting better as you've been playing, so. Hello, Panzer, hello. Alright, I think that's gonna do it. I talk about this this aggressor defender thing like all the time, right? So it's been a while, I think, of several replay reviews since I've gone into it in more detail. You still gotta win to promote after all? Exactly. But yeah, so I hope that was helpful for someone there. More forward F-150 Rain? Yeah, but again, you can't F-150 from here, right? It's a bad idea. You gotta F-150 from all the way over there, man. Even more reason to go full screen. But yeah, 3 replays in 1 video. Who is he? I know I'm committed to getting through this backlog. This one we're gonna do in the next video though, this Aki one. I mean, this might be a oneer. This one's 28 minutes, and this one's 15 minutes. We'll see. We might do like 1.25 or 1.5 times speed for some of these. I don't know. We'll see. I would like to get through 2 if we can. That's a next video problem. For now, on stream, yeah, we're gonna do 1 more replay. Thanks very much. Yeah, Rain. You can go back in the VOD as well if you want to. It's only been 10 minutes or so. We've been talking about it, so if you want to go back, you can see. I think on YouTube you can do that easier too. Maybe, I'm not sure. Oh wait, I think I'm not allowed to say that. Never mind. Stay on Twitch or stay on YouTube or don't go anywhere. I'm not suggesting one over the other. Don't shoot me, please. Also, yesterday matchmaking was kind of crazy and matched me with a master rank with 3k gems and I was S+4. Oh my god. Oh my lord. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video though. We're going to do more replay review in a second, but first let me send the VOD watchers on their way. So hello VOD watchers, hi. Hopefully in the time that you inhabit right now, I'm a little bit closer to finishing up my backlog, but we'll see. If you had a good time with the video, any kind of likes, subscribes, comments, bells, all that good stuff helps out a lot. What's going on, Miata? Also, if you want to join Discord, you can. Good place to, post a replay if you'd like. I take a while to get to them. Hopefully I'll change soon, but people also get to them like the day they're posted usually, so. If you want to join Discord though, be nice. I'll shoot you in the head in Minecraft. Please, be nice. I also stream every day from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, except for Fridays, so come by and hang out on either Twitch or YouTube. I also have nothing else to say to you is what I have. I just want to make sure that you guys had a great time hanging out today, as always. I know I sure did. Having a lot of fun with these replay reviews, 3 in one video. I can't believe it. I feel so productive. Have a lot of fun with Grand Blue. Going to be a lot more coming your way, and until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.